Hi, I'm Kate Roberts, and I'm an occupational therapist at the VCU Health Neuroscience and Orthopedic Wellness Center. I'm here today because I'm going to guide you through a pretty easy yoga flow that you can do at home while you're all quarantining. Hopefully you're all safe and healthy. Everything that I provide today is just a suggestion, so it's really important to make sure that you honor your body. Be aware of your limitations. If you need to have any extra supports available to you, like a chair to hold on to for some of the standing poses, that's advised. If you need any extra blankets or any kind of bolsters that you might need to be comfortable on the floor, that's okay too. As always, before starting an exercise program, it's always recommended that you get cleared by your medical professional, so please keep that in mind as well. But honor your body, take what serves you, and leave the rest. We're going to start out today in tabletop position. So you want to find hands shoulder width apart. You can have toes kind of planted like a little kickstand, or you can have your feet flat, whatever feels right. And what we're going to do here is kind of warm up our spine with a little bit of cat-cow pose. So it's really important to sync your breath with the movement. We're warming up the spine and the whole body here. So elongate your spine, really rise up through the crown of the head. We're going to inhale, and as we do that, we're going to tip the tailbone to the sky, look up, and exhale. We're going to round the back, empty the lungs, inhale into cat, and exhale. Inhale. Exhale, really warming up the spine here. If it feels right, you can kind of add in a little side to side movement. You can roll out your neck. Inhale up. And exhale, round out. Empty the lungs. And then we're going to find a nice neutral table here. Go ahead and plant the toes. We're going to come up into our first down dog. So with this, we're going to send the tailbone back. And you're going to look through towards your belly. We can kind of pedal at our feet here. Give a little nod of the head, loosen up the neck if that feels good. We're pressing back through the hands. Hands are active in this pose. Fingers are nice and open, pushing back. If you can make contact with your heels, great. If you can't, that's okay too. You can keep a slight bend in the knee. And now we're going to come back down to our table. We're going to do a little twist to open up the spine further. So what we're going to do here is inhale, right arm up. And if you can, take your gaze to follow your hand. Couple breaths here. And then we're going to let the hand find its way back to the ground. We're going to repeat on the other side. Inhale the arm up. Couple more breaths here. And exhale, hand finds its way back down to the mat. We're going to push back into child's pose. So we're going to open the knees just a little bit. We're going to sit hips all the way back. We want to really reach the arms forward. You can keep the arms active in this pose, rising up on your fingertips, or if it feels better, you can plant the hands. Forehead rests on your mat. And if you want, you can do a little side to side rocking, kind of massage out your forehead if that feels good. We're going to take a couple breaths here. We're going to gently walk our hands towards the right side of the mat. Just opening up the left side body. You can shift a little bit of weight towards your left side, really feeling that stretch deepen on the left side. Make sure to take a couple deep breaths here. Breathing into that left side body. Now we're going to walk the hands back over to the left side. So we're opening up the right side body here. Couple nice deep breaths. Sinking into the right side. And we're going to find our way back to midline in that child's pose. And we're going to find our way back into that nice tabletop. Hands are planted under the shoulders. We're going back up into downward dog. So, exhale, push the tailbone back. Look towards your belly. Try to find your belly button. We can pedal out that dog again if that feels nice for your calves. If you need to have a little bend in the knee, that feels good sometimes too. And then we can straighten back out. From here, we're going to inhale the right leg up. So find a height that feels like it serves you best, even if it's just a little bit off the mat, that's okay. We're going to inhale the leg up, look up between your hands, and we're going to exhale. We're going to plant the foot between the hands. And from here, we're going to rise up into Warrior One. So inhale, arms come up. And the back foot spins down, so heel finds the mat. We can kind of settle in here with our trunk finding the middle, opening up that left hip. Take a couple deep breaths here. If it feels good to you, you can sync a movement with the breath. So inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, we can bend into it and goal post our arms. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms goal post down, leg bends, inhale up. And we're gonna exhale and find our Warrior Two here. So we're opening up the body. We're gonna sink back down into that front leg. So we're trying to keep arms nice and shoulder height. We're drawing in energy through our feet, rising up through the crown of our head. You've got energy going in all directions here. So you're reaching forward, you're reaching backward. We're going to take a couple breaths. Really feel that body-brain connection here. Now straighten that front leg. Oh, that feels nice. Sweet relief. We're going to bend again, and this time we're going to take our right hand. We're going to spin down and find the floor with our fingertips here. Left arm rises up. This is extended side angle. So if you can, if it's available, turn your gaze upward to find your left fingers. If this is a little bit too much, you're welcome to take your right arm and support yourself here on your knee. And then gaze turns up towards the left arm. If this version and the extended version feels easy, you're always welcome to try to find a bind here. So the right arm is going to reach underneath, left arm is going to come back. We're going to open up, gaze is up. This challenges balance much, much more. And then we're going to release. Come back up to find your warrior two. I know that right leg is on fire because mine is too. And now we're going to straighten. And we're going to come back down. Arms come up to find warrior one again. And we're going to come down, frame the foot with your hands. We're going to send right foot back into high plank. You've got a couple options here. If it feels right to you, you can push back straight into your downward dog. If it's available to you, you can take this through a vinyasa. That's going to be lowering down chest to the mat and then peeling up, really opening the chest and the heart. Gaze goes up. And then we're going to push back and find that downward facing dog. Take a couple nice cleansing breaths here. We're going to repeat this on the opposite side. Don't be shy about your breathing. You're all at home. Give yourself some grace. We're going to inhale the left leg up this time. Remember, any height is okay, whether it's a few inches, hip height, or higher. We're going to bring that left foot through, plant between the hands. We're rising up, finding our warrior one. Back heel is going to spin down. We're opening that hip up, so try not to have your hips facing towards the side. You really want to try to turn towards your front leg here, opening up that right hip this time. Whew. All right, let's do some of that nice breath work here. So we're going to inhale, straighten the leg, exhale. We're goal posting the arms down, really opening the chest. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, we're opening. Whew, good balance. And we're sinking. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale again. And this time we're going to exhale. We're going to find our warrior two. So again, energy in all directions here. This is a pretty powerful pose. Feel a nice burn in the leg. If you need to straighten it at any point, that's okay. Give yourself some relief. So we're reaching forward, reaching backward, rooting down through the feet. We're rising up through the crown of the head. We're warriors. It's a strong pose. All right. From here, we're coming down. We're dropping left arm towards the floor. Right arm is reaching high. We're twisting, we're opening up, turning our gaze to find our right hand. Again, if it feels better to you, you're welcome to bring your left elbow to your left knee. And if either of these options feels a little too easy, then that's where I invite you to find your bind again. So this time you're reaching under with the left arm, behind with the right arm. We're still twisting, we're still opening, creating that space. Nice deep breaths. And we're gonna release, and we're finding our way back up into our warrior two. Starting to create some heat in the body. And then we're going to turn. So right heel rises up. We're going to sweep it into a lunge, come down, frame the hands around the feet. We're going to step back into that nice high plank again. Now this is where you can either go ahead and push back into down dog if you want to take child's pose, or if you want to move through a vinyasa, chest lowers, heart peels up, lift the kneecaps, your quadriceps are activated here, and then we're going to press back into our downward facing dog. Release the neck a little bit, let your head hang heavy. Hands are active here, fingers are spread nice and wide, pushing back. So from down dog, we're going to inhale the right leg up. Exhale, we're going to bring it forward, plant between the hands. Left heel is going to spin down. We're going to rise up, find our warrior one. Sink down into that. From here, we're going to bring hands down behind the back. Clasp the hands together. Really lengthen your spine here. Then we're going to exhale, take it forward. If it's available with your shoulders, lift the hands high. If not, you're welcome to keep them nice and low. If the stretch is there, reach the hands up. We're sinking down. Deep breaths here in humble warrior. We're going to rise back up. Find length in the spine again. Straighten that right leg. Whew, that feels nice. Sink back down. And now I want you to bring the left foot closer. We're going to try warrior three here. So really try to spread the toes of the right foot. Those are going to be your anchor. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to go into a single leg balance. So if this is all that's available, lifting that left leg off the mat just a few inches, that's okay. Try to hold here, lifting the kneecap on the right leg, activating the quadriceps. If it's available to you, then this is where you can try to lift a little bit higher, hinging forward at the hips, find a spot on the ground to focus your gaze. Arms can come out nice and controlled into airplane, or reach forward, arms overhead. If you fall out, get back in. And we're going to come back up here. Find our hands behind the back again, sink back down into that modified warrior one. We're going to inhale, arms up. Exhale, reach down, frame the hands around the foot. We're going to send the right foot back into plank. And you can choose your variation, either child's pose, down dog, or take it through a vinyasa. And send it back into downward facing dog. Couple of nice cleansing breaths here, and then we're going to repeat on the left side. So we're going to inhale, left leg up this time. Exhale, send it through, plant it between the hands. The right heel is going to spin down. We're going to rise up, find our warrior one. And then we're going to bring hands down, clasp behind the back. Really elongate through the spine here. Left knee still bent. And we're going to hinge forward at the hips and find our humble warrior. If it's available to you, lift the hands up and away from the body. If not, you can keep them nice and low if that feels better for your shoulders. A couple deep breaths here. Nice and strong. We're gonna push down through the left leg, rise up, straighten that leg. And now we're gonna shorten our stance a little bit. We're gonna try warrior 3 on the left side. Everyone typically has one side that they're better at balancing on than the other. So if you notice that, that's okay. This is also an opportunity for you, if you feel like balance is a challenge, have something steady nearby, like a table, a chair that you can rest a hand on. So we're going to start to shift our weight into the left leg. Right toes are going to float off the mat. Lift the kneecap on that left leg. Really activate your quadricep. And if you fall out, that's okay, get back in. From here, if it's available to you, start to hinge forward more, lifting that right leg. Nice and controlled, arms can reach out to the side. And if it's available, arms reach overhead. And we're going to come back out, nice and controlled. Back into our modified warrior, humble warrior here. Elongate the spine, inhale the arms up, and exhale, we're going to frame around the feet again. Okay, we're going to lower down. This is our last chance here to either child's pose, downward facing dog, or take it through one more vinyasa. And we're going to meet in tabletop. From tabletop, we're going to open the knees a little bit. We're going to push back into child's pose. We're going to activate the arms here, so rising up onto the fingertips. 3 breaths here. From here, we're going to get a nice stretch on the triceps, so we're going to bring the elbows down. We're going to find palms here, and with prayer hands, we're going to flex the elbows, bringing the palms back behind. From here, you can shift your weight back a little bit to deepen the stretch in the triceps. 3 more breaths here. From here, we're going to come up into our tabletop, and then we're going to find our way to our seat, however that works best for you. So in this position, you may have to pull the flesh away from your sit bones a little bit. Really root down through your sit bones. Spine's nice and long. You can start to hinge forward a little bit at the hips, but really keeping chest forward. Spine is nice and straight. If we start to hunch here, we've lost that stretch in the hamstring. So really try to lengthen. You can kind of walk your hands down your legs if that feels good. You can flex and extend the ankles here. Really finding that stretch. If it's available, then you can use peace fingers to grab onto your big toes and really deepen that stretch in the hamstrings. If you're anything like me and have been sitting in a chair most of your day, then really start to notice that those hamstrings are shortened. You can any kind of little movements here that feel good, I invite you to do. And from here, we can go into a little bit more of a straddle pose. So opening up the legs. Again, spine is nice and elongated here. We don't want rounded shoulders. Chest is forward. We can walk the hands forward just a little bit till you start to feel that stretch along the inner thigh. For me, it doesn't take very far to walk my hands. Flex the toes up towards you. If you can activate enough even to lift the heels a tiny bit. We're going to go into a little bit of a side stretch here. So we're going to walk the hands over to the right and really lean into that right leg. And then we're going to walk over to the left. Take the foot if that's available. If you can only make it to your knee or shin, that's okay. Sinking down, really feeling that stretch along the left hamstring and the right side body. And from here, we're going to take it onto our backs. So from here, we're going to lift the right leg, clasp your hands just below the level of the knee. You want to bring the leg just to the outside of your rib cage and let that leg just sink. If it feels good, you can go back and forth nice and slow. And then from here, we're going to cross the right foot over the left knee. We're going to kick our hips ever so slightly to the right. Arms come out to shoulder height. We're going to drop our knees to the left. So a nice deep twist here. If it feels good and you want to take it a little bit further, you can turn your gaze over your right shoulder. We're going to take 3 breaths. And we're going to come out nice and gentle. We're going to draw the left knee up. Clasp the hands just below the knee, bring it just to the outside of our ribs, let that hip sink down into the socket. Nice stretch here. And then we're going to cross the left ankle over the right knee. Arms come out, shoulder height. We're going to kick our hips to the left ever so slightly this time. We're going to drop our knees down to the right. And again, if it's available, we're going to send our gaze over the left shoulder to deepen our twist. 3 breaths. We're going to come out nice and easy. And from here, this is where you can take your final resting pose. So Shavasana, however that's comfortable for you. Some people like to draw the soles of the feet together and open the hips, palms facing up. If it feels best to have legs extended, do what feels right. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today, and I hope that you all stay healthy and safe. Hopefully I'll get to see some of you face to face sometime soon. Namaste.